I said, I ain't eating no calorie deficits. Hey y'all, your girl Donasia is back with another video. If you are new to my channel, I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for clicking and joining us on today's video. If you are returning, you're probably wondering like, bro, where have you been? And I know y'all. I know it's been a while since my last long form upload, but let me just tell you, your girl has been going through some true spiritual warfare, okay? Probably wondering specifically what I mean by that. Just me being transparent, y'all. Something that I have been dealing with for a really long time is insecurity and low self-esteem. This is something that I've been dealing with for many years, honestly, but it just seems like lately it's been more intense than usual, and I want to tell y'all a little bit why. And today's video mostly is going to be about how I'm kind of getting out of the slump of dealing with that. Big part of why I've been feeling that way is because my fitness haven't been where I want it to be. Mainly that's what I want to talk to y'all about today, but spiritual warfare is a huge reason as to why I have not been able to be on my grind with my fitness stuff. But let me tell y'all a little bit, back this up a little bit. It's been affecting me to the point where I haven't been posting on YouTube. Like, it's been directly affecting that, and then it's been directly affecting, of course, me working out in the gym and even my diet. I'm truly trying to push. Like, I feel like the devil doesn't want me to post on YouTube. He don't want me to be transparent and share my life, but I really feel like God wants my voice to be heard this year. Actually, he told me that through prophecy. He said he wants for my voice to be heard and he wants my light to shine. And so I am trying to push through. Pray for me, y'all. Definitely keep me in y'all's prayers. I know that the Lord has placed something in me and he wants for me to let it out. So this is why I am showing up on camera in spite of everything that's been going on. But with that being said, y'all, the very first thing I really want to touch on is feeling insecure to the point where you don't even want to step into the gym. Like, I don't feel like people talk about that a whole lot, because even now there are times where I am not feeling myself. Like, I'll look in the mirror and I don't necessarily like what I see. Like, don't get me wrong, I love me, I love my body. God made me fearfully and wonderfully, and I'm amazing, and I know that. But if we're being honest, we're all humans, and there are days where you look in the mirror and you're just not really feeling yourself like that. And I've been having a lot of those moments, which, like I told y'all, a lot of that has to do with spiritual warfare, you know, insecurity, self-esteem, and we all have insecurities as humans. But like I said, it's been a little bit more intense lately, and I truly believe that that is the enemy trying to stop me. But something that I've been trying to do is honestly just taking it step by step and picking myself back up. Like, truly, there are times where I don't even want to go to the gym because I feel just very self-conscious about myself. Or like, sometimes I try to buy like new gym clothes to feel cute, you know, try to boost myself up to get going to the gym. But there be just days that I simply ain't feeling it. But I'm truly trying to teach myself to push through. Even when I'm not getting the instant gratification that my flesh very much desires, I'm still trying to learn to embrace the journey, because every bit of the journey is a part of my story. And that's also a big part of why I wanted to record this. I've been wanting to make this video for a really long time. I've just been putting it off because of all the reasons under the sun. But I really want to show people that it may be a journey to the other side. But if anything, it makes it more valuable, because me showing y'all the bits and pieces of the puzzle can help whoever may be going through a similar thing where you're feeling insecure in your journey. I know that it's the new year and a lot of people have New Year's resolutions, and there are a lot of people who are probably trying to consistently go to the gym, but you may not be seeing the results that you want, and it may cause you to want to give up. But I want to tell you today, do not give up. Give yourself some time, because great things take time to achieve. And will it be hard? Yes. I'm not gonna sit here and say it ain't, because then I'll be telling you a lie, and that's defeating the whole purpose. I want to be honest with y'all, and I want to show y'all my journey and let you know that although it may take time, it's going to be so worth it. I want to take it a little bit back to the beginning of when I officially started working out and being consistent with my diet. It was the beginning of 2022. I ended up getting to about 195, which was the heaviest I had ever been. I kind of mentioned this in actually my very first YouTube video from, I think, last year when I first started getting really consistent on YouTube. I mentioned this, but that was my heaviest that I had ever been, and I was very unhappy with the way I was looking. I mean, I say it now, but back then I was really unhappy. I was even hesitant to get on the scale. That's how bad it was. I knew that my body was just changing a lot and it was not to my liking. But one day I finally got on the scale, and when I saw what that scale read, which was about I think it was in the 180s, I knew I wanted to make a change. But I didn't exactly start making that change until, like I said, at the beginning of 2022. And at that point, I was 195-ish or something around there. And from that day on, I decided to start making a change, because I'm like, I may be unhappy with the way I'm looking, but change ain't gonna happen if I just keep moping around about it. So I started working out at home, because I was very self-conscious about going to the gym. I didn't want to get made fun of. I didn't want people to see that I didn't know what I was doing, because I didn't. You know, my husband is really athletic and into fitness, and I knew that he would probably be doing his own thing, and he was more than willing to help me. He actually did help me lose my first 5 pounds when I was working out at home, but I knew that there would be times where he wouldn't always be able to go to the gym with me, so I needed to start getting into my own groove. And so eventually I did start going to the gym. I would start off doing cardio, but I noticed I was not losing weight. Like, no change was happening. I felt so discouraged, because I'm like, man, I'm putting in all this work. But what I didn't realize is that nutrition makes about 80% of your progress. I thought that I could just work out and eat any kind of way and still get the results. No ma'am, no Pam. I learned about eating in a calorie deficit. I had already heard of that term, but I didn't want to hear it. I said, I ain't eating no calorie deficits. But surely enough, I learned that if you want to lose weight, you need to eat in a calorie deficit. You need to be burning more calories than you're consuming. And so I had ended up changing my diet, and then I started to see results, and I was very happy. To kind of summarize up the year of 2022, I ended up losing a total of, well, I think between 2022 and 2023, I ended up losing a total of about 40 pounds, which I was really happy about. But there became a point in time where my body kind of plateaued. Like, after losing those 40 pounds, I noticed that my body wasn't losing any more weight after that. Like, it was really a struggle. And so I started to try to incorporate different diets. I would go on diets where I would eat only like eggs. I even went on a raw vegan diet where you just eat vegetables and fruit, pretty much just anything that's not cooked. And I did end up seeing results. I lost about 10 pounds after I did that diet, but what I noticed is that I would gain the weight back very shortly after. So I would lose the weight really quickly, but then I would gain it back shortly after. So that progress that I was making was not very sustainable, and I knew that I needed to do something different. So instead of trying to do things the fast and microwavable way, you know, the quick way, I soon realized that I needed to make changes and let it happen gradually. And it's okay to make gradual changes. As long as change is happening, you're on the right track. But that's not where the story ends. I ended up noticing that I was starting to get really bad knee pains. Now, it would happen very sporadically. Like, I would get it probably every 6 months, and I noticed that it only activated when I was doing really intense training. Like, for example, if I was doing training involving like jumping and landing really hard onto the ground, I noticed that my knee would start hurting, but then it would go away within the next like 3 days. But I want to say about 3-4 months ago, it started to come really consistently. Like, instead of happening every 6 months, I would start to feel that knee pain close to every day, and it started to really affect my training. I remember there being days that I could not go to the gym at all because my knee was just in so much pain. Or if I did go to the gym, I would just do my arms or shoulders and completely neglect my lower body, which kind of caused for my lower body to not be as muscular as it used to be. And then it started to become to the point where I was not going to the gym at all, or I was going very sporadically. Like, I would go once every 2 weeks. And that was really weird for me because I used to go to the gym 7 days a week, literally 6 to 7 days at least. And it started to really decrease until it became no gym at all. And it became no gym around the time, around 2 months ago, when my husband and I first moved to this apartment that we're living in now, we were going through a lot of transitions at that time. My husband and I were both in EMT school. We were taking a class together, and at the time that we were moving into this apartment, we were at the halfway mark of the class, and so it was like crunch time. Plus, my husband had a bodybuilding show coming up, and he was not even exactly sure that he wanted to go to that show. He was dealing with a lot of spiritual warfare on his end. He was going through depression, a lot of doubt, not even knowing if he wanted to do it. He told me he wasn't going to go to the show at least 4 times, then he would change his mind. And so I know he was going through a lot mentally himself. And then we were moving, so it was just a lot going on, and that also affected my consistency in the gym. At that point, I was not going to the gym at all, and I definitely gained a lot of fat. Now, my weight on the scale didn't necessarily change very much, but what I did notice is that my body recomposition changed a lot. Like, I had more of a fatty appearance compared to lean. I was more lean prior to all this crazy stuff happening because I was able to eat better, hit the gym, you know, different things like that. And so noticing all these changes in my body that I was not necessarily in favor of really also took a big toll on my self-confidence. I wasn't feeling like me, and it wasn't until probably 2 weeks ago that I decided to really lock back in and make a change. Like I told y'all in the beginning of my fitness journey, I knew that I didn't like what I saw on that scale, but I knew that I wouldn't be able to change it by just sitting around and being sad about it. I had that same exact realization about 2 weeks ago when I looked in the mirror and I did not like what I saw. So what have I been doing to change that? To change that, I've been taking baby steps. I am trying to really change my mindset with food. In the past, when I went on these diets that I mentioned to y'all before, where I would get instant results, but they weren't sustainable. In the past, when I would mess up on those diets, I would get so discouraged and I would just go back to just my old ways of eating terribly. Now, what I'm trying to do is not necessarily starve myself. Now, there are times where I do intermittent fasting, mostly when I'm at work, and then I'll save my calories for a little bit later at night when I know I'm hungrier. But if I do happen to have a cheat meal or something, I no longer beat myself up about it, because I noticed that in the past when I've done that, it ended up just making me want to give up the whole situation and pretty much relapse. That's also just not a healthy mindset for you to have, period. You may have weak moments. You may have moments where you eat that cookie or you eat that ice cream or whatever the case may be. But don't beat yourself up about it, and don't try to go intensely crazy in the gym after you do mess up. Get back up, but take baby steps after you mess up. It's okay if you may need a break from your diet, because today I actually had one of those days. You know, I have been going so hard, going to the gym sometimes twice a day, eating very, very healthily, because I have been doing much better with my diet, and I'm very happy with that fact. I don't regret eating healthy. I don't regret making changes to better me. What I do want to change this time around, though, is beating myself up if I do happen to have a cheat meal. Because like I told y'all, this is all a part of my journey, and this is all a part of my story. And I want to help whoever may be going through a similar situation. Or if you're thinking about really locking in on your nutrition and going to the gym, I want to show y'all my journey and show y'all that it may not always be perfect, it may not always be pretty, but it's my journey, and I'm taking the necessary steps to make a change. Another thing I want to say, when I was feeling that knee pain, I should not have been going to the gym still. I should have went to go get checked out by a doctor. And so something I want to say, if your body is telling you that something isn't right, listen to your body and go get seen by a doctor. Don't do what I did. Don't try to still push through. If you know something is not right, go get seen, go get checked out, and make sure everything is good, and then continue. There's nothing wrong with wanting to push yourself to be better, because ultimately you grow by getting out of your comfort zone. But I don't mean getting out of your comfort zone in a sense that you're absolutely in pain and you're still trying to push through. No, there is a certain type of pain that you get, which soreness is to be expected, but the pain I was feeling was not just soreness. I was feeling another type of pain. So in that case, definitely make sure that your doctor approves of the activities that you are engaging in. All in all, I'm really excited for this journey, y'all. I'm excited to see the transformation, but most of all, I'm just excited for the journey itself. I'm excited for the people who may look at this video and who may feel inspired to start their own journey. I know that I'm on this earth to make an impact on God's people. And so if that means that I have to turn this camera on and share my journey, that's fine. As long as I'm bringing God glory, and as long as God can say, well done, thy good and faithful servant, then I know I did my job. But anyway though, y'all, I think I'm gonna end this video. I'm excited to really keep showing y'all the growth, the journey, the everything, y'all. If y'all have any questions, feel free to leave them in the description down below. If y'all want me to show y'all in detail my workouts and what I'm eating, more than open to showing that to y'all, because like I said, this is all a part of the journey. If you have any questions, let me know. But y'all, let's keep growing together, okay? God loves you. I love you. Peace, love, and blessings. Mwah.